It's your girl, Mrs. Tony 2 times, and I'm back with another episode of Hood Tales. In this episode, I'll be taking it to Covington, Georgia, to discuss the tragic slaying of La'Peachah Nash after she drove her boyfriend to his baby mother's house. But before we get into this video, please hit the like button if you're enjoying the content. Also, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already and join the Tony 2 times family. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. Also, if you'd like to see more episodes of Hood Tales, please click the link to the playlist in the description box after this video to get caught up on episodes you may have missed. Finally, be sure to share this video with everyone you know. All right, let's get right into it. There has been a long-standing debate on whether it's best to date or be with someone who has a child or children from previous relationships. These situations can be very complicated on a lot of different levels. It depends on the age of the child or children, how long the parents have been separated, and under what circumstances or conditions, and many other factors. For the person who decides to get into a relationship with someone who has a baby mother or baby father, it can be a challenging experience. In some situations, it can work itself out, or in other situations, things can escalate to dangerous levels. On May 13th, 2020, at 8:40 p.m., 20-year-old Deshawn Grayson and his girlfriend, 27-year-old La'Peachah Nash, drove to his baby mother, 22-year-old Dalanna Bailey's apartment in Covington, Georgia. Deshawn was going over there to give Dalanna money for their 11-month-old baby. La'Peachah drove Deshawn there. She stayed in the car while he got out and went to his baby mother's door. Dalanna was not happy to see Deshawn at her place and began yelling and screaming at him. Dalanna was holding their baby as she and Deshawn argued. She also had a revolver in her waistband. Deshawn noticed the gun and tried to disarm Dalanna in fear of their baby and his safety. She threatened him several times. Deshawn said Dalanna told him that she had a round in the chamber. Deshawn made a run back to the car where La'Peachah was waiting. As Deshawn ran towards the car, Dalanna began shooting at Deshawn and towards the car where La'Peachah was, all while still holding her baby. As La'Peachah tried to back up the car, she was struck in the head by one of the 3 rounds Dalanna fired inside the front driver's side. La'Peachah's car crashed in the parking lot. Deshawn was also struck. Both he and La'Peachah were critically wounded. Dalanna fled the scene with her baby in her 2003 Honda Accord. Officers responded to the scene and rendered aid to Deshawn and La'Peachah until medics arrived. Both Deshawn and La'Peachah were airlifted to Atlanta Medical Center. Deshawn was injured badly, but doctors were able to save his life. But as for La'Peachah, the wound to her head was fatal, and she was kept on life support so her organs can be donated. Dalanna was on the run with her baby. She had just shot her baby's father and his girlfriend, and she knew police would be looking for her. With the help of a license plate reader, Dalanna was tracked down to the Knights Inn Motel on Panola Road in DeKalb County. Officers surveilled outside the motel for several hours, waiting for Dalanna to emerge from her room. The next morning, Dalanna was arrested and her baby was unharmed. Investigators also found the weapon they believed was used in the shooting, according to police. Dalanna faced a slew of felony charges. Those charges were upgraded to malice hit and felony hit after La'Peachah was taken off of life support and pronounced gone days later. La'Peachah shouldn't have lost her life that night. At 27, she still had so much living to do. She was at a pivotal point in her life. La'Peachah was probably unaware or maybe ignored the signs that Deshawn and his baby mother were still dealing with their own issues involving their previous relationship or just co-parenting. Maybe she didn't fathom the situation reaching the point where Dalanna would boldly open fire on them while holding the baby. She was simply there to take her boyfriend to drop off money for his child. She probably thought it would have been a quick turnaround. La'Peachah's family was devastated by the news, but relieved that the person responsible was behind bars. Deshawn was subsequently released from the hospital and recovered from his injuries. It would take 4 long years for the case to go to trial. Dalanna's trial began on February 5th, 2024. The prosecution presented their case and said Dalanna's actions demonstrated a blatant disregard for human life, while the defense claimed that Dalanna acted in self-defense. After a weeks-long trial, Dalanna was found guilty on all counts on February 13th, 2024. The jury deliberated for less than an hour before returning the verdict. Dalanna is scheduled to be sentenced on March 7th. She faces the maximum of life without parole. May La'Peachah Nash continue to rest in peace. My belated condolences to her family. I truly wish them well. This was such a tragic and unfortunate ordeal. It's not clear what all transpired between them prior to that moment, but I'm sure this is not the first time things got explosive between Deshawn and Dalanna. Their baby was less than a year old, which means their breakup would have still been fresh, or they had been having problems from the very beginning of their relationship that resulted in a child. It's messed up that La'Peachah got caught up in the crossfire of that mess. And I hope that all is well with Deshawn and Dalanna's baby, and they grow up to have a happy and healthy life. There is so much more I can say about this situation, fam, but I'll leave the rest up to you. Please tell me your thoughts and opinions about this and situations like this in the comments. Have you ever been on either end, and what was the outcome for you, if you don't mind sharing? Again, may La'Peachah rest in peace. All right, fam, that's it for this episode of Hood Tales. Thank you all so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. This is your girl, Mrs. Tony 2 Times, and I'm out.